Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Um, Yesterday, I had did a podcast on how do you know them, and I just basically got that sent out, and I'm so sorry that I thought I had sent it out already, but anyways, it went along with walking in love. Honestly, it did. And so, you know um I just thank God for what he's doing. It seems like he's been linking some of these messages together, and that's how it is when you being led by the Holy Spirit. um I'm telling you, he puts things together. You don't have to worry about putting it together because he will do it. And I believe in this message, it's basically going to put the stamp to it, going to put the stamp on it, okay? Because there's so much going on in this world today. I thank God because he already let us know. He forewarned. The Bible tells us that there is a warning that comes before destruction. Y'all forgive me, but warning comes before destruction. And so if we pay attention, it's been so many people talking about exposure and exposure coming, not just to the world, but to the church. And in multifaceted exposure, like in multiple ways, God is exposing some things. And so he's definitely been doing that on in this year. I know he had let it be known to me last year that exposure was coming, and I don't even know if I spoke on that the year before last, but I definitely know for a fact when the New Year's came last year that he definitely before the end of the year, I want to say even maybe December, that he gave me that. But yeah, and we're seeing it today. We're seeing it in multiple levels, in multiple ways. And I'm not sure that well, first of all, welcome to Purposely Designed, y'all. This is Angela. I just got right on in there today. I'm so sorry. Excuse my manners, look. But yes, I was thinking about, did I mention what he showed me with the artist and how we're going to see more like R&B singers that are singing to their lovers. I'm talking, not to a woman, because the Bible, what I got was, and I don't even know if I released this, but anyways, there's that song by Usher that's saying my boo, and I want to say he gave me this like weeks two ago, but anyway, a song sings my boo. It's funny, when we were younger, you were my boo, and so basically more so on that level than saying you are my lady. Like Luther. Okay, you're gonna see more lovers in that community singing to their lover, and openly about it. And I believe that what's going on in the church, honestly, is opening things up for people to be themselves, so they don't have to hide, and they don't have to criticize the very thing that they really truly believe in. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. That's why I've always been careful to judge, even in that subject. There was people who would come to me, I want to say back in 2010, 11ish, And they were talking to me about that in that community and how they're, we're opening up churches and this and that. And honestly, I came with the defense because I felt like, which would you say is greater? You know what I mean? I don't know. When I see things, certain things, I see it in I want to say in the view of Jesus Christ. And I'm going to say it like that because Jesus, when they brought to him that woman who had committed adultery with a married man, they came to him and they asked, what they should do because the law said to stone her. And he told them, he who had no sin cast the first stone. But not only that, but he also made a statement that, not in that same scenario, but he made a statement that as a man thinketh in his heart, not just as a man, Lord, that some of us have committed adultery even in our hearts. I'm gonna put it like that, and so basically, if you look upon a woman and lust after her, you committed adultery in your heart. So you may not have physically had slept with her, but because you even thought about it, you committed the act in your heart. You see what I'm saying? So how many times I just want to go into mercy on today. Honestly, this is basically what this whole thing is about today, because we got to think on what type of thing have we thought on. You know what I'm saying? What have we saw and have said something about what we seen in our heart? And God heard us. He lives in you. So yeah, he hears you. He hears your thoughts even when they are far off. Ask David if you don't believe. Ask David. He spake that in Psalms. He knows my thoughts. Even he understands me even when my thoughts are far off. I don't care what situation I'm in. He still knows me. He understands me. Even far greater than any person understands me. And so anyways, and I'm just talking on now. I was pretty much reciting my own self and how I feel about me, how God, he knows me. And so I can't hide that from the Lord, and you can't hide it. You can't hide your thoughts, your imaginations, where your mental being goes. You can't hide what you do in the bedroom. There's so many spirits that's been released that have tainted folks, okay? And so ain't no telling the thoughts that people have had, okay? So basically, when you accuse your brother, believe me, you stand also to be accused, okay? The same measure you measure unto others shall be measured back unto you. That's the word of God. If you don't believe me, you can turn to Matthew 7:2. It says, For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure you met, it shall be measured to you again. So while you judging somebody else, just know the same measure you measure unto somebody else is going to be measured back unto you. You got to be careful. As you a lot of us want God to show us mercy, but yet we still don't want to show others mercy. But I was going to get into what I said to some people that were in church. These are church folks, people that went to church daily. I mean, on a every Sunday. And at the time, God had taken me out, and he began to raise me up in the way that he would have me to go. And at first, they was talking about it being abomination. I was like, yeah, the word does talk about this, being an abomination and everything. But I went there and said, but we don't know what God is doing. And they looking at me, what you mean you don't know what God is doing? Clearly this is an abomination. And I said, well, just think about it. You have people who are in the community and they basically have tried to find themselves a place. They have a relationship with God. God knows them. He knows why they are the way they are, right? And so they try to fit in different places. Maybe, is it possible God may be establishing a place where they can be themselves, and yet God can turn them around and clean them up? Is it possible? I don't know. Is it because which one would you say is worse? And I just kind of felt like, you got men who have, preyed on young men, on our children, okay? Have preyed on them boys, grown men, living a double life. You know what I'm saying? They supposed to be a pastor, and we trust our youth with these people, and they've taken them and they've groomed them and they've molested and they've raped, our young men. And then you got these people who are trying to figure themselves out because they've been touched in this way. And now they live a different lifestyle because of the grooming that they received, even in ministry, in a place where they were supposed to be safe. Would I be more comfortable with someone who flat out let it be known that this is what I like, and got a husband and they're a man, than to be with a man, than to be underneath leadership of a man who has a wife, portraying that they have this relationship, yet and still they love men. And they're doing this. They have to mess around with the kids because they don't want to be open with the men. You know what I mean? Like, what would I prefer? And so I had stated to them, I said, I don't know. Because he talked about, behold, I do a new thing. We don't know what God, how he's fixing things. Because there's people that want to take these folks and throw them under the bus, and they want to leave them there to be ran over. But I do believe my word says that we supposed to be restoring people, right? Restore starts at one. I shouldn't be always coming with this judgmental spirit, because the same measure I measure to you will be measured back unto me. And honestly, when it comes down to it, who is getting the glory? We're looking at people, and people are people. But it's not the man that's making you holy. It's the spirit that's within the man, And so anyway, let's go on into it, because I'm about to really get into the message. I had yet to get into it, but I'm just saying, y'all, like, we got to be careful for nothing. You got to be careful when you judge something. You need to come and make sure this is truly righteous judgment, that this isn't taught, that this isn't a judgment that you're predicating on your own thoughts and imaginations on how holiness is supposed to look like and what you feel like is right and righteous. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that are going off of that. You know, Jesus didn't even judge in that way. And we're going to go into that too. So let's just go. Okay, y'all, forgive me for even, I'm just kind of like basically giving you an overview somewhat, but not quite, because I wasn't going there. But I believe, anyway, I wasn't going there. But anyways, can you stand? And this is where I'm going. Can you stand to be accused by your brother? Can you stand to be accused by your brother? I don't always have to agree with you. Matter of fact, I don't have to agree with your lifestyle. I don't have to agree with anything that relates to the things that you do and even the things that you say. I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And people don't have to agree with me. I'm just going to put that out there. But, amongst everything, I believe we ought to agree with God. What does He say? What does He say in His Word? What, are we moving in love and compassion and, the same mercy are we giving to others? The same mercy that, we want to receive. Are we giving? How are we moving here? You see what I'm saying? What are your thoughts when it comes down to these things?